All right, hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. Buckle up because today we're going to tackle Grok 3, the latest and greatest AI from, you guessed it, Elon Musk's X AI.
It's been everywhere, right?
Headlines, you name it. We've got a mountain of articles, tech analyses, the whole shebang to unpack today.
Deep dive indeed.
Our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to break it all down for you. What is this Grok 3 thing really all about? Why is everyone freaking out about it? And what does it actually mean, for us, for the future? We'll try to answer all that and maybe even leave you feeling, I don't know, a little bit ahead of the curve.
Well, I think what's really interesting about Grok 3 is that it's not just like another AI model popping up.
Yeah, there's a ton of those.
Right. This is different. It's coming into a world where ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, they're already making huge waves.
Totally.
So XAI, especially with Musk behind it, they're not just trying to play catch-up. They want to make a statement.
Yeah, they want to shake things up, for sure. So just to recap for anyone who might have missed it, Grok 3 officially launched, February 18th, 2025.
That's right.
And right now, it's available to those Lucky X Premium Plus subscribers.
The tier.
But they've said other tiers are coming soon.
Trying to get it out there.
Yep, you can access it through the Grok iOS app of their website, grok.com, and soon they'll be launching on Android.
They're definitely aiming for wide accessibility.
Oh, yeah. No gatekeeping here, which is kind of refreshing, actually. But, okay, let's get to the heart of it. What makes Grok 3 so different, so special? One thing that immediately jumps out is this crazy reasoning ability it has.
Oh, yes. Scary smart is how Elon put it at the World Government Summit, remember?
He did, didn't he? Not exactly subtle, but, it's Elon.
He's not known for subtlety.
True. Very true. But based on everything we've read, that description might not be too far off.
It's not just processing information, it's understanding it. Like, really getting it. Like, it can figure things out, draw conclusions, even learn from its mistake.
So it's getting smarter as it goes.
Constantly.
Man, that could change everything, like how we do research, how we make decisions.
Everyday decisions, big decisions. Yeah, it's huge.
Okay, here's something I found super interesting and maybe a little creepy. Grok 3 has direct access to real-time information from X, like the entire fire hose of data.
Yeah, the old Twitter. That's a game changer.
I mean, what are the implications of that?
Think about it. An AI that can analyze news as it breaks, pick up on trends as they're happening, even predict what might happen next.
Whoa, that's like a next level.
It is. And it can change the way we consume information, stay informed. You'd be more up to date than ever before.
That's either really cool or really scary. Maybe both. I don't even know.
We'll see.
And then on top of that, there's this deep search thing they've built in. Some are calling it like the next evolution of search engines.
It's wild. You can ask it these really complex research questions, like full-on research paper level stuff.
And it just handles it.
Just like that. One query.
That's insane. Okay, so how good is this thing really? I mean, we've got all this hype, all these promises. How does it actually measure up?
So early tests are really impressive, and we're talking rigorous testing here. Standardized math, science, even programming tests, they've thrown it all at Grok 3. It's consistently beating out the competition. DeepSeek, ChatGPT, all the big names.
They're giving it tests, like it's back in school.
I know, right?
That's hilarious.
But XAI is serious about proving what this thing can do. And it's not just these academic tests. It's also winning on platforms like, have you heard of Chatbot Arena?
No, what's that?
It's like a battle royale for AI. Different models go head-to-head on all sorts of tasks. And Grok 3 is dominating.
Okay, wow. Clearly, they've built something special here.
Yeah, and a lot of that comes down to this chain-of-thought reasoning mechanism they've implemented. We can dive into the technicals later, but it's a big part of why Grok 3 is so good.
Yeah, maybe save that for part 2, because honestly, right now, my brain is kind of overloaded. But before we go full tech speak, I got to ask you about deep search. It sounds like something, anyone who spends a lot of time researching would love.
Oh, it's a game changer.
Like, break it down for me. Why should our listeners be excited about this?
Well, first and foremost, it's all about efficiency.
Time is money.
Exactly. Deep search can cut your research time down significantly. Think about it. You get the information you need in a single query instead of spending hours, clicking through links and weeding through search results.
Oh, I feel that. So many wasted hours going down these research rabbit holes.
We've all been there. But with deep search, you get what you need, boom, right there.
That's a dream. So it's faster, but what else?
It's also way more comprehensive than a typical search engine. It doesn't just pull from websites. It can grab info from PDFs, multimedia files, even raw data.
Whoa.
And then it goes and analyzes all of that, pulls out the most relevant stuff, presents it to you in a way that's actually understandable.
So it's not just finding the information, it's actually understanding it.
Yep, that's the key. Deep search is using advanced language processing to really grasp what you're asking. It's like having your own personal research assistant.
Okay, now that is a selling point. I can think of so many people who would love that. Students, journalists.
Anyone who needs to learn something quickly and thoroughly.
Exactly. This could change how we approach research altogether. Wow. Okay, I need a minute to just process all this. Deep search, real-time information from X, this reasoning ability. It's a lot.
It is, isn't it? It's like they crammed a decade worth of AI advancements into a single model.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it all, but there's one thing I'm still curious about. How does Grok 3 compare to Grok 2? Is it a significant improvement, or is it more like an incremental upgrade?
Oh, it's a huge leap. Grok 3 isn't just a little bit better, it's a whole other beast.
All right, lay it on me. What are the biggest differences?
Well, the most noticeable difference is that reasoning ability we've been talking about. It's just light years ahead of Grok 2.
Give me an example, like how much smarter are we talking?
So, for example, Grok 3 has been able to actually plan a mission to Mars and back.
What?
Yeah, like a full-on mission plan, something Grok 2 wouldn't have even come close to doing.
A Mars mission, that's insane.
Right, and it's not just space travel. It's been able to design complex games, combining elements from different games in these creative ways. It's problem-solving on a whole new level.
So what's behind this massive jump in reasoning power? Like, how did they do it?
It's a few things. First, Grok 3 was developed using 10 times more computing power than Grok 2.
It's got a super brain.
Basically, yeah. So it can process information and solve problems way faster. But it's not just about raw power. They also trained it on a much larger and more diverse data set.
So it's got more experience to draw from.
Exactly. More knowledge, more examples to learn from. And they didn't just feed it scientific data and general knowledge. They threw in legal documents, stuff like that.
Trying to give it a deep understanding of, like, systems and rules.
Yep. It's like they're prepping it for, well, who knows what.
They're thinking long term, that's for sure. So we've got the reasoning improvements. What else is new?
Well, one of the most exciting things is that Grok 3 can analyze images. That wasn't in Grok 2 at all.
Image analysis. Hold on, that opens up a whole other can of worms. What can it do with images?
Well, the basics, it can identify objects and scenes. So yeah, you could show it a picture of a dog and it would know it's a dog.
You know, I was going to ask that.
But it goes way beyond that. It can look for patterns and anomalies, which could be huge for stuff like medical diagnoses or security.
It's like giving AI X-ray vision for data.
Pretty much. And this image analysis, combined with everything else Grok 3 can do, makes it ridiculously versatile.
Okay, hold on. Deep breaths. We've covered a lot of ground here. Grok 3, it's like something straight out of science fiction, and I think we're just scratching the surface.
We are. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Well, I'm hooked. I'm especially interested in deep search, all the research possibilities there.
Yeah, it's a game changer for anyone who wants to learn more effectively.
All right, let's dive into that next. Tell me, how does this deep search thing actually work?
So the key is this iterative approach they've taken. It's not just looking for keywords. It's using the power of GPT-4, which is this super advanced language model, to break down your query and really understand what you're looking for.
So it's getting at your intent. Not just what you say, but what you mean.
Exactly. And that lets it go way beyond just the obvious stuff. It analyzes like 10 times more pages than a regular search engine.
10 times? That's a lot of data.
It is, but it doesn't just throw all this data at you. It filters it, prioritizes the most credible sources, makes it all manageable.
So it's not just finding the information, it's like curating it for you.
Yep, it's doing all the heavy lifting. And get this, deep search is transparent about how it works. You can actually see how it arrived at its conclusions, what sources it considered.
That's actually pretty cool. It builds trust, you know?
Transparency is a big deal, especially with AI.
Okay, deep search sounds incredible, but I gotta ask, are there any downsides? Like anything we should be aware of?
Well, one thing to keep in mind is that it can be a little slower than your typical Google search. Because it's doing all this extra analysis, sometimes a query can take like 30 seconds to complete.
30 seconds? Oh, the agony.
I know. It's like an eternity in internet time.
Right.
But honestly, it's a small price to pay for what you're getting. More accurate, more insightful results.
Yeah, okay, I think I can handle an extra 30 seconds if it means getting better information.
That's the trade-off, and I think it's worth it.
All right, you've convinced me. Deep search is officially on my to-do list to check out. This whole deep dive has been eye-opening. Grok 3 is definitely a game changer, and it sounds like we're just getting started.
Oh, we're just at the beginning. It's going to be fascinating to see how it all unfolds.
Well, that brings us to the end of part 1 of our deep dive into Grok 3. There's so much more to unpack, so make sure you join us for part 2, where we'll go even deeper into the rabbit hole. All right, welcome back to the deep dive, everyone. Last time we left off talking about deep search, and honestly, I've been thinking about it all week. The possibilities are kind of mind-blowing.
Oh yeah, it's a powerful tool, for sure.
But there's another thing we touched on that I think we need to unpack a little more. Grok three's access to real-time info from X?
Ah, yes, the fire hose of data.
That's where things get really interesting, or maybe even a little scary.
It's unprecedented, really. We've never seen an AI with this kind of direct line to what's happening on a platform like X.
It's almost hard to grasp. Like, imagine an AI that can process news events as they're happening, live, track trends as they emerge.
And potentially even anticipate what's coming next.
Whoa, that's next level.
It is. That real-time access gives Grok 3 a huge advantage. It's not just working with static data, it's constantly learning and adapting.
So its understanding of the world is constantly being updated.
Exactly.
That's both exciting and a little daunting, isn't it?
It is. I mean, think about what this could mean for how we stay informed. What if you had personalized news updates, like tailored to your interests?
So Grok 3 could filter out all the noise and just give you the stuff you actually care about.
Exactly. It's like a personal news curator delivering the information you need when you need it.
Man, that would be a game changer. No more endless scrolling. You mentioned before that Grok 3 is being used in different industries already, and honestly, healthcare seems like a perfect fit. So much potential there to really improve people's lives.
Oh, absolutely. One of the areas where it's showing huge promise is in diagnostics. Grok 3 can analyze medical images, x-rays, scans, that sort of thing, and it's amazing at spotting those subtle patterns that a human eye might miss.
So it's like a second opinion, but with the power of AI.
Precisely. And that can be life-saving, especially for conditions where early detection is key. And we're also seeing a lot of progress in drug discovery. Grok 3 can analyze huge amounts of data to identify potential new drug candidates, even predict how effective they might be.
Wow, so it's already making a difference in healthcare. What about finance? I bet there are a ton of applications there too. Finance is all about data, right?
Oh yeah, it's incredibly data-driven. Spotting trends, managing risk, making decisions quickly based on tons of information.
Sounds perfect for AI.
Exactly. And Grok 3 is already changing things up in areas like fraud detection, algorithmic trading, the Wall Street stuff. It can even offer personalized financial advice.
So it's like having your own personal super smart financial advisor.
You could say that. Of course, human expertise is still super important in finance, but Grok 3 can really enhance that, provide insights and recommendations that would take a human forever to figure out.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've got healthcare, we've got finance, pretty serious stuff, but what about something a little more lighthearted, like entertainment? Can AI really play a role there?
Absolutely. I mean, entertainment is all about storytelling, creativity, keeping people engaged, and AI is actually starting to contribute to all of that.
Really? Okay, tell me more. How is Grok 3 being used in entertainment?
Well, one thing is personalized recommendations. Think like Netflix, but way more tailored to you. It takes into account your viewing history, your preferences, even your mood, and then it suggests things you might like.
That would be awesome. No more scrolling through endless options. What should I watch? What should I read? Just tell me.
Right, and it's not just suggestions. Grok 3 can actually help create the content itself.
Wait, what?
Yeah, some screenwriters are using it to brainstorm ideas, come up with dialogue, even create entire plot outlines.
So the AI is like a co-writer.
Exactly. And there are even some early experiments using Grok 3 to create music and art.
AI making art and music.
It's still early days, but the potential is there.
Man, that raises some interesting questions. Where do we draw the line between human creativity and AI assistance?
That's the big question, right? We'll probably be debating that for a long time. But the important thing to remember is that AI is a tool. It's up to us, humans, to decide how we use it.
Very true. Okay, this has been a wild ride so far. All this potential, all these possibilities, it's pretty mind-blowing. But I gotta ask, are there any aspects of Grok 3 that kind of give you pause? Any concerns about where this is all heading?
Well, as with any powerful technology, there are always risks. One thing we have to consider is the potential for job displacement.
Oh, right.
If AI like Grok 3 gets even more advanced, it's possible that it could automate tasks that humans are currently doing. And that could lead to job losses in certain fields.
Yeah, that's a real concern. We're already seeing some of that happening with automation.
It's a complex issue, and there's no easy solution. But I think part of the answer lies in education and training.
So we need to help people adapt.
Exactly. Help them develop new skills, learn how to work alongside AI.
So it's not just about learning how to use the AI, it's about learning how to work with it.
Right? AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. So we need to figure out how to utilize its power while also making sure that human skills and expertise remain valuable.
It feels like we're just at the beginning of this whole AI conversation, and there's still so much to figure out.
We're in uncharted territory. And it's important that we have these open conversations about the ethical, social, even economic implications of AI.
Yeah, we need to be having these discussions now, before things move too fast. This deep dive into Grok 3 has been incredible. I feel like I've learned so much. What are your final thoughts?
Well, Grok 3 is a phenomenal achievement, no doubt. It's proof that AI has come a long way. But we have to remember that it's a tool. The future of AI isn't preordained. It's something we're shaping right now through the choices we make.
Wow, that's a powerful thought. It's up to us to make sure that AI is used for good, to solve problems, improve lives, create a better future for everyone.
I couldn't agree more. The future is ours to write, and with AI as our tool, we have the chance to write a pretty amazing story.
I love that. Okay, that was fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into Grok 3. I hope everyone listening feels as informed and inspired as I do.
It's been a pleasure exploring this with you.
And to everyone tuning in, thanks for diving deep with us. We hope you learned something new and are feeling, ready to keep exploring the world of AI. Until next time, stay curious. All right, welcome back, everyone, for the final part of our Grok 3 deep dive. It's been quite a journey so far, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. We've covered so much ground. I mean, from deep search and, all its incredible capabilities
Right.
to its access to real-time information. It's mind-blowing. Grok 3 is really pushing the boundaries of what we thought AI could do.
It really is. And for this last part, I want to focus on, the real world. How is Grok 3 actually being used right now? We've talked about its potential, but where's the rubber hitting the road, so to speak?
Great question. And the answer is, well, pretty much everywhere. We're seeing it being adopted across so many different fields. I mean, healthcare, finance, even entertainment. Anywhere where being able to process and really understand complex information is key.
Let's start with healthcare. I feel like that's where Grok 3 could have a truly, profound impact.
Oh, for sure. One of the most promising applications is in diagnostics. Grok 3 can analyze medical images like X-rays and scans, and it's amazing at spotting these subtle patterns, things a human eye might miss.
So it's like having this AI-powered second opinion, right?
Exactly. And, that can be incredibly valuable, especially for conditions where early detection is absolutely critical.
Totally.
And we're also seeing a lot of progress in drug discovery. Grok 3 can analyze just massive amounts of data, and that's helping researchers identify potential new drug candidates, even predict how effective they might be.
That's really exciting. It sounds like it's making a tangible difference already. Okay, what about finance? I can only imagine the applications there. I mean, finance, it's all about data, right?
Oh yeah, it's all data, all the time. Spotting trends, managing risk, making decisions, on the fly, based on tons of information.
The perfect playground for AI.
It is. And Grok 3 is already changing things up. Fraud detection, algorithmic trading, all that Wall Street stuff. It can even offer personalized financial advice, which is pretty wild.
So you're saying I can fire my financial advisor and just let Grok 3 handle my portfolio?
Well, not quite yet. I mean, human expertise is still really important, but Grok 3 can really enhance that expertise, provide insights and recommendations that would take a human hours, days to come up with.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've got healthcare, finance, the serious stuff. But what about something, a little lighter? Like, what about entertainment? Can AI really make a difference there?
Oh, absolutely. Entertainment is about storytelling, engaging the audience, creativity, right? And AI is starting to play a role in all of that.
Really? Okay, tell me more. How's Grok 3 involved in entertainment?
Well, for one, you've got personalized content recommendations. Think of it like Netflix or Spotify, but way more dialed into what you actually like.
No more algorithm fails.
Exactly. Grok 3 analyzes your viewing habits, what you listen to, your preferences, your mood even, and suggests things you might enjoy.
That would be amazing. So long, decision fatigue.
Right. And it goes even further. Grok 3 can actually help create the content itself.
Wait, what? So?
Yeah, some screenwriters are using it to brainstorm ideas, come up with dialogue, even create whole plot outlines.
So the AI is like a writing partner.
Basically. And there are even some early experiments with using Grok 3 to create music and art.
Whoa, AI making music and art. That's getting into some deep philosophical territory, isn't it?
It really is. It makes you think about, the nature of creativity. Where do we draw the line between human and machine?
Yeah, and we'll probably be grappling with those questions for a long time to come. Okay, so, big picture, what are your final thoughts on Grok 3?
Well, it's obviously a remarkable achievement. It shows just how far AI has come in such a short time. But we have to remember, it's a tool. A powerful tool, but still just a tool.
What does that mean for the future of AI?
It means the future is not set in stone. It's something we're shaping right here, right now, through the choices we make.
So it's not about the AI itself, it's about how we use it.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, that is a powerful message to end on. Thank you so much for joining me on this wild ride through the world of Grok 3. It's been an incredible journey.
It really has. It's been a pleasure.
And to all our listeners, thanks for diving deep with us. We hope you learned something new, maybe had your mind blown a little bit, and are feeling inspired to keep exploring the ever-evolving world of AI. Until next time, stay curious.